More cooking, more Spanish cooking from Pete's Pans. The traditional Spanish omelette. I'm going to try and keep this down to less than 10 minutes this time, rather than the normal 30. Now Pete almost, when he did his Spanish omelette, obviously just eggs and potato, he put onion in, and he had a nice drop of Spanish wine whilst looking over an ancient town up there with its church. Well, I haven't got that. And he was in his motorhome, I'm in my house. And we're going to do the onions like Pete did. And I'm going to have I found some Victoria Malaga Spanish beer from Lidl. So we'll have that with it to make it very Spanish. And also, they did that for $9.99. Some Iberica ham, the finest no doubt. So I've been sharpening up my knife to do a few slices of that with my brunch. And maybe a slice of French bread to make it very Spanish. Got my trusty old pan. What we'll basically be doing is we'll be deep frying the potatoes. King Edward's, English of course. It's yet another European medley of countries. Yeah, deep frying those with the onion, but only gently. So you put quite a lot of oil in. He uses olive oil. I'm just going to use normal vegetable oil because it's quite expensive, as I found out at Lidl. Deep fry them so they're just golden, not too brown. Then we drain all the fat off. Then we make the omelette like you would normally do by mixing the eggs and these softened potatoes with the onion. I was going to put some chilli in, but I'm not sure if I will or not. Then I thought we should put some cheese in, but then I'm going too far away from the original recipe, which is what I always do. I just started inventing a new thing before I even cook the original. So it's just going to have onion and potato in and no chilli or cheese. I might do that for next time. I might put some herbs in there because I can't help myself. Right, so this doesn't last 30 minutes. I'm going to stop now and carve up my very chunky. It'd be very chunky because my knife's not that sharp. I haven't got a slicer. And I will cut some potatoes up. Ooh, we slice some of the ham off. It's very good as well. With a sharp knife. Not as thin as you get in the supermarket, but you still get the taste. Yeah. I thought, well, why don't I put it in the omelette? Well, I thought I'm going off too far off the beaten track again. So I might just put it, I might cut it into slices and put it on top to serve it. It's really good. Okay, so you chop your potatoes into, it should be half a centimetre, so they're about a centimetre. So they're a bit chunky, but we'll see how you get on. You want a bit thinner and slimmer than that. But as I'm going to cook them long and slow, I'm sure they'll be alright. And I've made probably too many onions as well. Salt and pepper in the traditional Spanish salt and pepper shakers. 8 eggs and the crusty bread. That was for a brie later because we're going France after Spain. Right, so I need to get the temperature going on my trusty old pan that lost all the non-stick off it, but it now works perfectly when you're doing this sort of thing. I think we don't want it too hot, do we? So I might get this up to about 120 centigrade and then see if it sizzles or not. I don't need too sizzling. We'll cook it for about 15 minutes, just softening it slightly brown. We don't want it completely, we don't want a little plate of chips in there. This is going to be the tricky bit. Anyway, we'll get back later once it's rocking and rolling. Okay, so we're on a deep fat, low fat sizzle for 15 minutes. I'll put that on in a minute. I was just taking all the fat off my Lidl's prosciutto. Right, I popped it in. It's slightly too cold perhaps, so I've just turned the temperature up a bit. It needs to be 15 minutes without going brown. Well, I was looking at my Spanish ham from Lidl. I found out I could take that bit off that you don't want to eat, but it might be very good pork crackling. It's already dried out for about, well, normal stuff's about 3 years I think, but this is probably about 2 months. Bit Lidl. No, sorry, Lidl. Yeah, so I'm going to make that into pork crackling. Bit of salt on there. Stick it in the oven later. Might as well try it because it's only going to waste anyway. You won't eat that as it is. Sweet. Good. Right. How are we doing? 15. Yeah, that'll do. I need to keep an eye on that. That's the one thing I did practice with, getting the right temperature for making the potato soft without it going too brown. And then we tip all that fat off, obviously, and then we go into the next stage of frying. Very healthy, this meal, obviously. Well, after a bit of fiddling around with the burner, I think that's probably what is recommended. a slow sizzle. Obviously I'm going to have to stir it around a bit because it's hotter in the middle because the burner's only small and the pan's quite wide. Well, yeah, 15 minutes and we'll be draining it off. And then stage 2. For the next stage, I will use olive oil for frying it. And I must get all this oil off first. So next stage is we tip all the oil away. We mix with the eggs, salt and pepper and the herbs. And then we'll put some olive oil and we'll fry it in a different frying pan, a slightly wider one. And hopefully I've got to toss it at some point. Looking forward to that after a few beers. It could be like my rosti the other day that ended up a bit dismantled, deconstructed as they say in the posh restaurants. Yeah, it might be more like scrambled eggs with potato in rather than an omelette. we shall see. Right, I've just done the prick test. No laughing at the back with my extra long prick tester. And they're as soft as butter. In fact, they're probably too soft. They'll all disintegrate into mashed potato when I take them out. But there we go. So that has been, yes, 18 minutes. Right, I can't do this while doing this. I can't pour all that into that while doing the videoing, or else I'll burn myself to death. So back in a minute. Well, doing that even with 2 hands was fun. I'm just draining them off. We got a couple of jumpers. I'll have to retrieve that in a minute. Yes, it makes an awful lot of oily washing up, this does, I've noticed. And that does not look healthy. They say Mediterranean food is healthy. That is bloody not healthy. Try and get as much rid of this fat. I'll do olive oil in a minute. I'm going to use that pan rather than that one for the omelette. And it's an ex-student pan, believe it or not. Because it's from a student flat in Canterbury. And it looks actually quite well. It's only got a few scratches around the outside, so it's the first time I'm going to use that today. Cool. Right, I'll put this down. Check the wildlife out. Put some nuts outside, some sunflower seeds out. Oh, pigeons are going. Banana spread. Oh, there's a young one there. Either that's a feral pigeon or it's a young wood. Oh, it's a feral. You can tell that a young wood pigeon doesn't have any white on its neck, believe it or not. So all those have got white colours. They're quite old. But a young wood pigeon looks like a feral one, but in that colour, but no white behind the neck. Fascinating, eh? Yeah, you get a free wild birds watching thing. Oh no, my blue tits are loving it over there. Put some over there for them. For those. For them or those? Oh, and there's a magpie. I love feeding the birds. Big fat bastards they are. Where's my rat? I like the rat. He comes out and has some as well. And the squirrel. Pesky squirrel. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, I'm just waiting for my oil to drain off, to be honest. And there's my leftover oil. You are supposed to do it that way. And there's a steaming, very oily potato. So it tastes nice, but not very healthy. I'm going to mix with the eggs in there. Salt and pepper. Olive oil. Mixed herbs to make some green in there at least. That will please the doctor, as they say. And I've cut my my Spanish ham, dried ham, into bacon bits basically. So I've dumbed it down. I'll sprinkle those on top. Right, I'll be back in a minute again because I'm trying to keep this less than 15 minutes. I keep waffling on about things. Oh, there's Speckled Jim. There's Speckled Jim. Oh, 2 Speckled Jims. One's called Jemima. Yeah, look at them. There we go. Quite that. I don't like feral pigeons, but they're so spectacularly got white heads. I'll try and track them around like David Attenborough would. Yeah. I hope you can see them both. Yeah, they're quite spectacular. I don't know why they go white like that. Oh. Right, I don't know what the quantities are not. The quantities are where you're supposed to work. According to the recipe on Pete's Pan, you use about 5 or 6 or 4 eggs or 3.5, depending how big they are. I'm gone for 8 because it's a big pan. I seem to have done too much potato and onion. And it's got to fill that out. And this is Neil's. It's got a strange. I've washed it 3 times. You can tell it's from a student flat. Hopefully the oil will season it. Oh, I'll die horribly. It's got one of these thermo things and that were very popular from Tefal. It's supposed to transfer the heat to the outside by these little dots. So there's like a load of marketing baloney to me, but we will see. It's not got a thick bottom, but it's not too bowed actually for students. Normally they wash it up straight away and it all goes like that and everything runs off to the side. But we'll find it out in a minute, won't we? Anyway, get back to the eggs. So all you have to do, get your eggs. You don't want to mix them too much. We've got mixed herbs, quite a few. Oh yeah. Some salt, pepper. God, get it right, Andy. And some salt. We might have to put more in later, considering it's so big. And the potatoes and onion. Get in there, God. 5-second rule. Well, basically only I'm eating it, so it doesn't matter, does it? Right, and then we just stir them in. We don't want to we're getting the eggs mixed, of course. I can't do this one, Andy, it's too, I'll have to stop again. But yeah, we don't want it too mixed up, but we do want the eggs obviously to be, yeah, that's looking good. Right, I'll start the next bit next while we're on the camera anyway. Let's do the big fryer. That will always have the heat in the middle, that will have heat more around the sides. But we don't want to get it too hot. I've got to try and flip this halfway through, get it brown on both sides, that'll be interesting. As it's too big for any plate I've got. Normally you put a plate on top, flip it over, there you go. But I haven't got a plate that big, so I have to think on my feet. Right, oh, the olive oil. We don't want too much at the moment, although we do want to, I think that'll be enough. And of course you want to, it's now cold again, so we have to warm it up. We don't want to go too brown, so we want a medium heat. And then we're going to sprinkle our bacon bit. Oh, sorry, our finest Iberian ham on top. Dried ham. Good. Let's give this a bit of a test. Let's just put a bit of the liquid in. Good. You can see, actually this pan is quite broad because all the oil's gone to the outside. My olive oil. Probably put too much in as well. Yeah, let's tip some off into, oh god, I'll do this one-handed again. It's going to be fun. Ooh. Where's Postman Pat when you need him? Here he is. Well done, Postman Pat. Come to the rescue. Just tip some off. We use that for halfway through. It's a little slow at the moment. Right, let's pop it in and see what goes. There we go, we mixed it all in. My god, that's a big omelette. At least you can eat it cold, the old Spanish omelette. Right, let's just yeah. Make me potatoes all. I should really fold it in a bit, but we're going to do it slow, I think, so it will cook through. I'm going to toss it anyway, so it don't matter about folding it in. He says, I've never done it before. That's a fucking big omelette. What am I going to do to get it flipped over? I haven't got, the plate's not big enough. Is the plate big enough? Oh, put it on top. No, it's too small. Yeah, this is where you got to think on your feet when you're an experimental truck Jaeger style cook. This has gone over 15 minutes, hasn't it? It's about 20 by now. Sorry, everyone. Well, that's looking good, isn't it? Now, there's some good and bad news, unfortunately. The good news is it's looking good. I've had some thoughts while I'm doing this, though. The first thing is, I've often thought, why don't they put a temperature thing actually built into your pan so you can tell how hot it is? So you can say 90 centigrade, 120, 140, or sizzle, saute, simmer, or whatever. So you don't have to worry about how hot it is. Well, that's an excuse for later because I got it slightly too hot when I put it in. So it's gone very brown on the bottom. The other thing is I wasn't sure whether it was brown on the bottom. One good thing is actually it's releasing around the side, which is good for a student pan, apart from that bit. But it's gone quite brown because I had it too hot. Actually, you should do pans like those Spanish glass bottom boats that you go around the harbour with when you're on holiday in Benidorm. So you've got a glass bottom, so you can see it's gone brown or not. Yeah, that's for another day. Anyway, so I've turned it really, really low now because obviously if I'm going to turn this out, and that's the other thing, I've got to turn it out, I haven't got a plate big enough. So I'm going to try and use this frying pan lid to turn it out in. But if I'm trying to turn it out into that frying pan lid, obviously it's still not set in the middle quite yet. Yeah, so it's all going to run out. It's going to end up like scrambled eggs, isn't it, basically? Yeah. And also the last thing was, I don't have two more things that they're problematical with this cook. The first thing, I don't actually have a plate big enough for it. So I had to get Andy's big plate from somewhere. Don't ask where I got that from. It was underneath a fruit bowl 10 seconds ago. And the other thing is I left my beer in the freezer. Which is probably the worst disaster of all. Ooh! Damn, it's still liquid, that's good. Ah, well done. Actually, it's perfect temperature as well. Actually, I might stick it back in for a few minutes. Have a nice cube with you. Yeah, so it's gonna be well caramelised, just like me maybe after my bottle of beer. Well, I should have thought about the solution. Obviously, I used to get the top cooked. It's almost there. I'll just put the oven on and hold it like this, really, like for a few minutes, or 2 minutes or whatever. Yeah, and his top tip. Ooh, that was getting sorted out. That's really hot actually. Even the GoPro can survive in there. It's an action camera, but it's not that actiony. It'd be no good on Mars or Venus. Oh no, Venus. Mars would be alright. Not Mercury. Yeah. Ooh. Looks already, you see. Oh. Now just get the bastard out of there. Do this real time. About 15 minutes. It's going to be 30 minutes again, isn't it? Mind you, it has been fun. Oh, oh, look at that wobble action. I'll just get one more minute and then we're... And here we go. Managed to get... Look at that wobble. That's just perfect. Oh. Oh yes. Got the beer out. Even managed to find an old Spanish glass. Madrid, el alma de Madrid. My daughter got it from Butlins. They hand them out to the staff when they go on to something else. She gave me Stella last time. You can probably spot it over there. There you go. I broke the pint one, so we're only having a half. It's a big bottle to fit in there, isn't it? Oh, I got me the finest Iberican pork to go on top, and I'll put some. I think I'll put some parsley on top to make it up for the Instagram or whatever they do. Obviously, it needs more salt. You can never have enough salt. Yeah, so a really good, enjoyable, a bit of stress. I haven't tasted it yet. It makes it, I'm going to make it sound like it's brilliant. And the other great thing, you can't see what's gone on below because I'm going to serve it that side up. Oh, I'm hungry. I am hungry. Is that the best ever? I think it is actually. Right, let me pop that pop that bottle top. We'll be back in a minute. Check that out. Oh, even the sun's come out. The Spanish sun. We managed to get out of that fucking pan, two of us. Sorry, the pan. It's a bit of a big boy, so it was quite hard work. Now, I think I can get that back in on my own, he says, to do the underside. So let's get rocking again. A bit more oil. Oh, I saved that from earlier. Whew! Of course, I'll fuck it up now, putting it back in. Right, good. Right, oh, I've got to put this down again in a minute. But yeah, I mean, you can't fit that on a normal plate, but it's really good. I don't know, it's a huge plate. Good, I hope you're hungry, my wife to be. Not as hungry. Good. She says you should have a little bit. She always says that when I do my experimental cook. I tell you, that's perfect. Why was I worried so much you'd be overcooked? That's actually fantastic. Ole! Arriba!